So hi Ayush, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Sankalp. How about you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely good, man. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for being here on the Circle Show, and it's really a pleasure to have you here. Seriously.
It was my pleasure. Actually, you invited. This is my first podcast recording, actually.
Yeah. Like your profile is really impressive, and that's the thing that made me curious to know more about me. Like you are just 16. In which class are you? Like, by the way.
I'm in 11th right now.
Great, man. On your Twitter handle, it was written that you're a 16-year-old and developing so many different stuff, and you are already a winner of your, the presidential award, right? So I was like, okay, let's have him on a podcast episode and let's discuss more about him, right? Yeah. So the first thing is that since when did you start to like code? You know.
Okay, so I actually started learning code when I was 12,
Mm-hmm.
and I was probably in class 7, I guess, in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably the time when the internet was at boom. Like
Mm-hmm.
Geo came and internet was at boom. Actually, I wasn't actually into coding. I was trying to make some online money, online cash,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can get some extra pocket money. And so that's why I started with coding. So this is the main motive why I started with coding. I started with coding at 12th, and I started with just some basic HTML because
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to edit some HTML templates of websites that time. So that's when I started with just some HTML templates editing. And then afterwards, I started upgrading myself to developing apps and so on like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Your updation has been a crazy shift. Like moving from HTML to directly revising like machine learning algorithm. It's a crazy shift. Trust me on this. And like you are already in your 11th standard, so I hope you are from science itself, right?
Yeah, I'm from science, and you would guess I'm preparing for JE.
Yeah, that's the whole another level of trap. But I would say like the kind of enthusiasm and the kind of whatever you are developing, it doesn't really matter for you, like in whichever college that you get into, and because you'll all obviously making good time and usage of wherever you will be in your future, right? So tell us something about the experience that you had during that when you won a prize from the president of India. What was that
Okay,
project exactly?
that project actually was a garbage management system.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got this award for two of my projects. Like
Mm-hmm.
one is the Digi Smart Bin, and another is automated LPG ordering system.
Okay.
So I will talk about the first one, the Digi Smart Bin. It was actually a garbage management system. It's not for the general public, but it's for the government. Like
Okay.
in many areas like Delhi, Mumbai, and many areas, hilly areas especially, there is always a delay in the garbage collection and
Mm-hmm.
garbage fee payment.
Okay.
So this stops the government from functioning properly. So what
Mm-hmm.
my this software does, it manages all the garbage trucks moving around and tracks all the other thing and shows in this software. And it also provides a payment platform like
Mm-hmm.
daily monthly SIP, which would automatically deduct the amount from the person's bank,
Okay.
which would ease the collection of garbage bills for
All right.
different state governments. What it will do is it will remove all those people who were collecting the garbage bills, going to
Mm-hmm.
each and every person's home and collecting the garbage bills. So this current system is very ineffective. Like they collect the garbage bill, but they don't deposit it to the government. They
Okay.
keep it with themselves. So what
All
this
right.
system will do is it will take the money from the customer and directly deposit it to the government, so that
Mm-hmm.
the government has enough fund to run all these Swachhata Abhiyans.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, that's a great a good initiative. Like what do you think? Like, why do you think there is a what exactly is the loophole that the that was there between collection of the garbage and the government of India, according to you?
Yeah, the loophole which I saw was like the garbage bill is being collected from us.
Mhm.
but is not reaching the government.
Absolutely.
Like we were paying the garbage bill for the whole year, but
Exactly.
when we had to pay the land tax, we were fined for not paying the garbage bills.
Okay. So your app was, or your software was something like, it was creating that, the people are paying the garbage bills and it is safely reaching till the government, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was my main idea, and subsequently, it will also track all the garbage trucks, like
Mhm.
where the garbage truck needs to go on daily basis. It will create a plan.
Mhm. Yeah. And I
So
think,
that was basically my first project.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think that the entire thing or the entire model on which your software was made, it can also be used in several other applications. Like as you told, it was about the tracking of garbage trucks, and I think that it can also be used for like the for suppose for ambulances or for other kind of transportation system where it requires a chip or something that is used to track down the vehicle, right?
Yes, exactly. So it can be used in various fields. So with this project, I won actually many awards,
Mm-hmm.
like Inspire Award. I also presented this project in front of the President of India.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, I presented it before the President of India, and it was really a great meeting him. Like I got the chance to present before him. That's a great opportunity. That was a great opportunity from me for me. And my another project which I made and which tested my skills
Mhm.
was I which I made last year is automated LPG ordering system.
Okay.
With with this project, what I tried to solve was like we have cylinders in home, and
Mhm.
not every place will have gas that gas pipeline because every landmark is not suitable for it. So we have the gas cylinders, but the loophole which I saw was the gas cylinder gets exhausted. We buy a new cylinder, but again we don't get to see that record in our LPG passbooks.
Okay. Yeah, that's something even I have seen. Yeah, I can tell.
that that does not reflect in our passbooks. And
Mhm.
another problem is that our LPG cylinder is how much filled and how much exhausted. We don't know until
Exactly.
it gets exhausted completely.
Mhm. Yes.
So this was a problem I tried to solve. I made a device, IoT device, which would measure the cylinder weight and then send it to the app, which will then order your cylinder.
Okay.
Like when your cylinder is about to get exhausted, it will order your cylinder before it get exhausted, and when it is exhausted you will get the new refill
Oh, that's really good.
automatically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now
Absolutely.
you don't have to go into the app and click for the refill button.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
will
yeah.
automatically do with the device. And another feature was this, like whenever there is a leakage, we have many fire alarms like gas alarms, but what that does is only gives SOS right at the place. But what if
Mhm.
we are not present there?
Okay.
So what this device does is it will create an SOS around the area and
Mhm.
also to your phone in which your app is installed. It will send an SOS to your phone
What is an
that your gas
SOS?
cylinder is leaking.
Yeah, what's an
It is
SOS?
an security message, like a sign of security.
Okay, okay. Sign of security. Yeah. All right, all right.
So it will come to your phone, and you will automatically be notified that your cylinder is leaking, and you can take the necessary steps. And another thing which this does, and main thing this does, is it will create a digital record of the passbooks. Like whenever
Okay.
you fill a new refill,
Mhm.
it will automatically be updated and reflected into your account.
All
So
right, all
this
right.
will prevent black sourcing. Like people cannot source the cylinders, people cannot
Mhm.
sell it without the passbooks.
Mhm.
So this will make it effective. Like cylinder management will be more efficient when this
Absolutely.
system will be applied.
Absolutely correct. Like that's why that's the whole reason. Yeah. Like your projects are such useful for the entire, society. It's solving some real life problems. And that's really what we want in our society. That's a kind of engineers that we want in our society to, like solve different kind of problems which are faced by normal public like you and me, right? So like how are you planning, like all these projects are there, but how are you planning to scale them up? Like is there an initiative from the government of India, or are you will you like when you will be growing up you will work on one of your project and launch your own startup? So what are the plans exactly, or how is everything going to work?
Okay, so for Digi Smart Win, I cannot do anything because it's mainly for the government. If
Mm-hmm.
government takes anything, that can be done. But for Auto LPG, I am trying my best to make it a better and a usable product. And I am also trying to do the market research and iterate through my products
Absolutely correct.
so that I can launch it in the market.
As you told that scaling up your product is really important, and when you will be getting into your college you will find a lot of people just like you pursuing different things, and you will get a lot of help when you will be reaching out on in your college itself, right? So before starting, what exactly could be the things that you decided we have to do, like coding, and you have to get involved into the world of coding?
Okay, you are basically asking what invited me to coding.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, as I told, I started coding because I wanted to make money,
Okay.
make some online cash, and flex among my friends. That was my that was my main motive to get started into this. But I started with HTML, basic HTML. I
Mhm.
went on with HTML, like creating fake Facebook pages to hack some friends, like that sort of things. This continued for actually 1 year.
Mhm.
Till then, I got to know about a program of Government of India that was the Inspire Awards,
Mhm.
and it has a major impact on me. Like Inspire Awards basically awards top 60 innovations of the country every
Mhm.
year. So I was selected for the. My principal actually chose me to participate in that festival. So I was into coding, a little bit of coding, but after that thing I got much more in deep into the coding. Like I
Mhm.
started first with MIT App Inventor,
Mhm.
then Thunkerbell, then I started going to Python. I shifted to Python after many times. Means that project gave me the feel that I like coding. Like I used to always when I was making that project, I used to code a lot, and that
Mhm.
got me into coding. So that was basically what invited me to coding, to make that
Yeah.
software.
Yeah. It's, and things like that, especially in a younger age, it always start when you start out with building things, right? And I always prefer to build projects and build things rather than just solving some algorithm problems and the competitive programming kind of stuff, right? So that is the important thing, especially when you are young, and when you are as young as 12 years old or 13 years old, you should definitely go ahead and build some projects of your own to get the a hands-on experience of whether this will work out or not, right? So I would like to know the the exact the process of when you get an idea and how do you really execute it. So how does that process really look like?
Okay, that process actually is quite a complex for me. I say it everywhere I go to speak. My first topic in the list, which I have to say, it was is that thing, how I get ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I look for problems which I have to, means I can solve.
Mm-hmm.
I look for different kind of things, like for take example for Digi Smart Bin. I had
Mm-hmm.
the problem that I had paid the garbage bill for the whole year, but I was still fined for the tax.
Exactly.
That problem I saw, I thought I can solve this thing. So I started with it. Another thing which I see after seeing a problem is that whether I have the skill set to solve this problem or not,
Mm-hmm.
or with little bit of upgrade, can I solve this thing or not? And
Mm-hmm.
if I can, I will do it. But if I have a long process in it, means I have to learn a kind of new language or new framework like things, then I will keep that project on hold for
Mm-hmm.
some time. And then when I think that I am ready for that project, then I will try to somewhere in the near future, I will try to think upon it again. And another thing, but when I know I have my skill sets, I look for people with a who can fill the gap. Like if I'm not into graphic designing like UI UX, I make terrible UI. I look for people. I look for people who can fill that gap. Like I have a friend who works with me to just make the UI of things. He
Yeah, yeah.
designs for me. So I look for such kind of people, and then I make the project. I team up with them. I make the project, and I look for different project competitions, because I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that project competitions help us a lot
Yeah,
by
yeah.
because they will probably help me refine my idea.
Mm-hmm.
They will probably tell me what are my shortcomings and where I can improve.
Mm-hmm.
And participating in these competitions also help me improve my communications. That's another big point. Like I love these competitions. Like wherever I see, I absolutely participate in them. And after a few iterations, I go with the project. And after certain level, I think if this project is worthwhile, then I will continue, and if not, I will drop it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. I
because
mean,
uh, because
yeah.
right now I'm just learning. I'm no more than another 11 class boy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just learning. I'm just exploring different things.
Yeah, and I must say that you're exploring in the absolutely right manner and in a great way. Trust me on this. And as you told that if you are not able to do something, just outsource it. Like whatever you said, like you are not really good with UI and UX, and you really don't know what how the things really work on that, and then you decide to have a friend. Like your friend does the job for you. So that is an important thing. That's what we call it as, like, outsourcing kind of thing when we build some digital products. And that is an important thing because not you cannot be aware of everything out there in the world, right? So that's how the things work out, right? So like
Exactly.
yeah, are your projects like having or turning out into any revenue streams, or are they like projected in some manner where they are like producing money or something like that?
Okay. I had this streams of revenue, but certainly a thing happened. Google blocked my account.
All right, why does that happen?
Actually, it was some copyright issues with some graphics.
Okay.
So I Google took down all my apps
Mm-hmm.
from there. Actually, I was making a pretty good amount of money last year in the lockdown itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm again trying to improve. I've launched another few apps, and I'm also it's also generating revenue. Means kind of generating things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Things
it's
are
working
moving in
out,
that
right?
direction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like your main purpose is solved. Like, like you now you can work on innovating things, right? Money is no more a problem.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So, what could be the possible steps for a young person, like young, like 12 to 13 years old, who really wants to start out with coding but is really confused on where to start and where not to start. So, what would your advice to him?
Okay, my advice would be, first, don't start just to learn coding.
Mm-hmm.
Start to make something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started to earn money. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
started to just learn coding. And things will really not work out, because the human mind doesn't have that motivation so that it can continue through the schools, and also through at home you have to take coding lectures, coding classes. That's
Absolutely.
not possible. Like you will run out of time if you just think of I will learn to code. That's not the way I would recommend. I would recommend you choose a project. Like I need to make this thing. Maybe you can have another reasons, like you want to sell this thing, or you want to flex among your friends. Let's see, I have hacked this website, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe anything that will make you more doing operate means you it will make you more learnings. Like you will
Mm-hmm.
learn more from that instead of just learning to code, like solving algorithms, like just you said, like competitive programming. I also tried out competitive programming for a while, but that turned out absolutely terrible for me. I
Yeah.
didn't had a clue what to do in that question. And what if I was going to school at that time, and all the problems were running in my head, that how will I solve this? So I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
no clue what I was doing with these things. So I would recommend you go with a project And don't just start with writing codes. There are many
Mm-hmm.
low code tools, no code tools right now, which can help you make the things. And
Absolutely.
especially get started with no code tools, low code tools, because it will help you clear all the programming fundamentals like loops. You will have
Exactly.
loops, how the system works, how user interacts with the system.
Hmm.
That kind of thing you can learn more easily when you are in low code than you are actually typing the code.
Exactly.
Like even now, I prefer Codular and MIT App Builder instead of writing out the whole code, because I don't
Okay.
need to remake the tire again. Because
Yeah,
if I can do it with MIT, why should I go with Android Studio? Why should I
exactly.
type all the codes?
Exactly, exactly. That's a good approach, because if you do not know something, or if you are not able to, if you have no idea of any field or anything like that, you start with a very basic thing, right? And then you scale up and move ahead in this, right? And pointing out about the competitive programming part, it's whole another level of world, I would say, because especially like people do competitive programming in colleges, and once you will be in college, you will also like feel that you should have it actually improves your data structures and algorithm part of your brain. And it's important when you sit for placements, and when like move ahead in the life. So that has an importance on another level. But development or the developing projects have their importance at one place, right? So yeah, so like with this, what are your future plans? Like, what are you planning to do ahead in life?
Okay, I am in the near future. I am trying to launch another app actually, which would be in because I'm inspired because of Twitter Web3 revolution, which is going out on Twitter. I'm actually making a fundraising system on the blockchain,
Uh-huh.
decentralized
Okay.
system, which would help fundraising, a unique kind of system I'm trying to make right now, which would be applicable to the general public
Mm-hmm.
and can also be used for a good cause. I'm trying to do that, and my future plans are I'm actually preparing for JEE. That's my means first
Nearest
priority,
future
I
plan.
think,
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
because I want to get into a good college.
Getting a good college is also important when you, in order to make network, right? In like the kind of people you will have in good colleges is only possible with having a peer network or having the colleagues of similar minds, right? So definitely go ahead with your JEE and prepare really well for it, because I know that time would be really it will be very harsh for the next coming years for you, because you will be having like JEE preparations and projects side by side, and that will be really a hectic schedule for you. But you just have to keep going, and that's how the life works. So any piece of advice that you would like to give to all the people who are listening right now?
Yeah, I thought yesterday whole night, and I come up with one advice. Actually, I was doing my internship last month. I completed my internship with an agri-tech startup. I
Uh-huh.
was working there as an IoT intern.
Mm-hmm.
There, the founder, we were discussing about the app layout of the IoT device. So the founder at there told me to make UI. And I was absolutely terrible at making UI. So I said him, I cannot make this thing. But he said, don't limit yourself. That words hit me.
Okay.
Don't limit yourself. Like he literally said, यार तुम क्या सिर्फ कोडिंग करते हो, तुम इधर उधर भी जाओ, don't limit yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
said me this would hit me, and right now I am learning UI UX.
Yeah, that's really a
That's
good
the kind of
advice, right? Right. And I always emphasize on this, it's not enough, especially when you will be moving ahead in the lifetime. It's not going to be enough to just learn one single skill, right? And it is going to be very beneficial for the one who will have multiple interests, and the one who will have the idea of multiple fields, because you never know what comes up in the future, and what might your whatever that you are doing might not exist 10 or 15 years down the line, right? So that is why he said, he might have said that just don't limit yourself, and just go ahead and move, and try out different things, right? So how is your experience of learning UI? Like, are you finding it difficult or it's easy for you?
No, it's actually pretty fun. It's
Yeah,
much
yeah,
similar. It's actually much similar. Means very much easy than what we do in coding.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's easy. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, especially
Yeah,
in the UI UX or the designing kind of thing, you need more of psychology based things, right? You need to understand more of human psychology, that what would be the possible thing that the user might like and might not like, right? And that's the important thing, because user like you could be really good at the back end, but if the user interface is not good, then the user is not going to like it at all, right? Your
yeah,
app or your website can function absolutely in a great manner, but what if the user interface is not really that good, right? So that affects a lot on the performance, right?
exactly. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm learning UI.
Yeah, just go ahead, man. It's really a great field. Thank you so much for joining in, Ayush. It was really great talking to you.
And same here, Sankalpi. I saw your YouTube channel. You are really doing great.
Yeah,
Like
thank
you
you.
have a great consistency.
Yeah, maintaining consistency is the really good. I mean, it's the most challenging part instead of creating content, right? So that's what I think, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
and that's the part where I always lack. I am not consistent enough.
Yeah,
I'm trying to increase my consistency. I have
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot to learn from you.
No, no, no. It's all right.